Last minute winner. Super sub Scott comes and saves the day. A guy just walked past there and said Ten Hag just saved Scott McTominay just saved Ten Hag's job. I mean, maybe it wasn't that, but honestly, when you win in that manner, how do you sum that up?
Yeah, it's emotions, isn't it? Like, there's no better way to go into an international break than last minute winner. And I think it's weird because if the game had finished 2-1, but it gone a different way, maybe Brentford scored like an equaliser after we'd gone one up, and we score a scrappy goal 60th minute, the game would have petered out. It wouldn't have felt the same. But in terms of the spike it's given everyone here, for Ten Hag and for the club, that's massive.
Is it that because you talk about how you win, last minute winners, and now the big question is going to be, can the lads be confident from that? Can they turn a corner by winning like that? The critics and the rivals will say, oh, look at them celebrating last minute against little old Brentford. But in reality, can it be the catalyst for something better? Because we'll get to the individuals, we'll get to why we end up in that situation. But because it's right after the game and we're all still excited because our voices are gone, can it be a turning point? Can that help the squad?
Of course it can. Look at the body language of the players. Look at how they're all looking at the moment. They don't want to go out there and play. You saw after the first maybe 20, 25 minutes we dominated. After that, there was players not bothering to challenge in the air, not putting a leg in, not even making a tackle in midfield. It was really, really poor, doing basic things wrong, but that's all mentality, that's all attitude, that's all sort of the desire side of things. And if you win a game like that, then I'll go away for 2 weeks, completely freshen things up. But as soon as they come back, they'll all be talking about this again. The last minute winner they had the last time they were all together. And so in terms of fixing a dressing room that right now looks to be broken, there's no better way than last minute.
Well, especially when the chips are down, the confidence is down, when the results aren't good, everyone just feels down. But then can it be something just like that? It doesn't matter how you play, you just get a winner, just get 3 points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's not just results. The star players aren't performing. Obviously Ten Hag's brought Onana in, not performing. Marcus Rashford, one of the big players, not performing. Bruno Fernandes, not performing. Casemiro's been terrible. A lot of his big players aren't doing their job. But some of the players that were backups have come in today and done a brilliant job. Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, fantastic today, both of them. Really, really good. Did the basics well, covered each other, won stuff in the air. Maguire got the assist for the winner as well. Evans was brilliant. Lindelof, shocking.
Yeah, he played his part in that first goal as well by not clearing it properly. Casemiro, again, we're talking about error after error after error. It was 3 in a row. Let's get into that about the individuals because it is positive. Obviously, we have won and we're happy. 3 points. You'd much rather be walking out here, even after playing not so well for most of it, and win than not. But there is an inquest. We still need to talk about how mistakes are still costing us. Just that today, actually, they just kind of kept going. But Casemiro kicks it off by giving away the ball aimlessly. He did one before that in the first half.
It wasn't even that.
And then he goes steaming in.
That was, for the goal. That's what kicked it off.
Yeah.
But before that,
he gave a stupid one away.
Yeah, but even before that, we dominated for 20, 22 minutes. And then, all of a sudden, we don't win one header. We don't win another header. We don't win another header. Someone loses their duel. Someone gets bypassed far too easily. Don't make a tackle. Someone runs through them. They're running at the defence. Defenders back off. And at that moment, the whole switch is flipped. All of a sudden, then you look at Rashford's body language. He's thinking, we've just been dominating. We've been camped in the final third. And now I've got to track back. He's gone. Bruno's gone. All of a sudden, that's what it takes when the mentality is as fragile as it is here. A few duels lost, a few people not winning their headers. That's all it takes sometimes, and that's what it was. That happened, then Casemiro's given a couple away, then Lindelof's not cleared the ball properly, and then Onana's made a mistake.
Does he need time out of the team? I know. Listen, I know we've won, so there's 2 ways of looking at this. Well done, everyone. We've won. We've avenged Onana's mistake. Onana was running around like a madman, relieved. Absolutely fair play to him because, we've won the game. But when you're looking at the amount of mistakes he's making, front, line and centre, and we're not just talking like a mistake, a keeper can make a mistake. We're talking, 7 aside, like you say, you're not a goalie and you've got to go in goal at 7 aside. That's how he's playing, he's not a goalkeeper. No. Does he need time out? Do you just bring Tom Heaton into steady for a game? Or does Ten Hag go, listen, there's 2 weeks off, we've won the last game, I'm going to trust you at Sheffield United away, go again?
Well, I've got to be honest, I watched the warm-up before the Brighton game. The backup keeper, the lad from Fenerbahce, doesn't look very good either. He looks out. It was one of the worst warm-ups I've ever seen. Most of the shots that our lads were taking were going well over and around. I nearly caught one myself. But by India, there was a couple that went on target. He let them go straight through his hands. So
well, we've got a keeper who's doing it in the game then. And then there's Tom Heaton.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't think Tom Heaton lets them in.
No, I agree. But look, I think at this moment in time, there's so many mistakes in the team. Just stick with them, back them to sort this out. I think the players, if you're going to drop any players, Casemiro came off. We got better.
Half time as well.
Rashford got hooked early, rightly so. I think those are the two you look to first. I don't think you start changing your keeper. I think whilst he's making mistakes, he is still leading the defenders. You can see him organise things. You can see him sort himself out on the pitch. I think the bit he's not doing is sweeping as well as he should have done, or as well as we thought he would. Since he conceded that chip in pre-season, he's been on his line, not really doing his job properly. I think there are question marks about him, but I'd probably still keep him in, just build that partnership, get through this difficult spell. I think that'll pay dividends in the long run. But there are plenty of others there who probably shouldn't be playing. Casemiro and Rashford, the main two.
With Scott McTominay, how much credit does he deserve? Because it's not easy when you've been frozen out. You know, looked like he was going to leave. He's not really coming off the bench. Had a couple of injuries. He's going away in national duty with Scotland all the time, doing well. That isn't transpiring to here. Kind of a man on the periphery to come on and have that impact of the game and be the super sub. And actually, what I really like, obviously he went crazy when he scored, but even at the end, he kind of calmed down a little bit and wasn't that gassed. He was just like, look, you know, I've done my job, I'm happy, but you can tell like he still knows that it feels like he still wants to be part of it. How much credit does he deserve for coming on and doing that?
Look, so much credit. It reminds me of that Manchester derby just before lockdown.
Yeah.
It was that one. I was sitting in the East Stand, so just here for that one. And McTominay's goal right at the end, it was probably the best thing I've experienced in Old Trafford, but that was up there.
So does he, but to be on the periphery and to come in and have an impact, do you know what I mean? We're seeing players that are maybe throw the toys out of the pram if they're not part of it, you know,
Yeah,
not going to
on.
come.
Look, let's not give him too, I think, brilliant today, but let's not forget it was less than 2 weeks ago that he's come on and he's lost the ball and he's not tracked someone back and they've gone and got down the other end of the pitch.
Bayern,
It was Bayern, yeah. So let's be mature, sort of like balanced in this. Done brilliant today, but it's not always been that. We need to see it more consistently. But I think what happened at the end was sometimes you just need some madness to just flip the way things are going. And I think tactically we saw, I think you showed me actually on the train to Munich, Thomas Frank on Monday Night Football explaining how Brentford defended. I'm assuming the United coaching staff will have watched that, the analysts will have watched that. The thing he said is that they always get the near side centre back over, the wing back over, and a midfielder comes over. So it's always 3v3 on the near side. The obvious implication, I think Carragher pointed it out, the way you create space and create chances against them is you switch it constantly.
And we didn't do it enough.
Didn't do it until the end. Look at what happened at the end. Switch it to Harry Maguire or long ball over to the far side, nods it back across. That's where you find your space. Towards the end we started to do it, but in the sort of early stages we weren't good enough.
They had our number, didn't they, at the start?
Yeah, even
we
that
couldn't break them down.
Even that first 20, 22 minutes when we looked good, we had the ball really high up the pitch, which was great. Didn't lose it too much, and when we did, we won it back fairly quickly in that period. But even then, when we got down one side, you have three players there just looking up at three Brentford players, and they didn't think, right, hang on, if there's 3v3 here, there's probably space on the far side to switch it. So it's that little bit where things just aren't quite right in terms of spotting the patterns, spotting how teams are defending. But look, came away with it, got away with the poor performance for 65, 70 minutes of the game. Got a huge 3 points for Ten Hag.